Alright, so we're going to do a quick video over a couple of the quadratic equation applications. So if you have the notes that I gave you in class, we're going to look at number 6. I'm going to use black instead. Number 6. So number 6, it says the height of a rectangular prism is 3 feet. Make sure you're on the right problem. The height of the rectangular prism is 3 feet. And then the length and width can be expressed as x minus 1 and x plus 4. If the volume is 198 feet cubed, find the value of x. So we should remember that the rectangular prism volume is going to be length times width times height. Well, in the problem, it tells us directly the height equals 3. It then tells us the length and the width are two expressions. The expressions are x minus 1, it doesn't matter which one we call them, length and width. X minus 1 and x plus 4, doesn't matter which one we assign them to. And then it does tell us that the volume is 198. 198. And then we know it's in cubic feet, so I don't really need to worry about the units because area will be in feet squared, each side will be a foot, linear measurement. So the idea here is then we simply have to find what is x. Okay, because the problem does say what are the dimensions, I do believe. No, it says find the value of x, so just find the value of x. All right, so very simply, if we know that volume equals length times width times height, and we have the height, we have length in terms of x, and we have w in terms of x, then we can just make our substitutions. Volume is 198. The length, instead of L, I'm going to put in this expression, x minus 1. In place of the width, I put in x plus 4. In place of height, I put 3. And now I have one equation, one unknown, and we should remember that's kind of the idea, is to set up one equation, an equation for every unknown. That helps us solve. For every unknown we have to have an equation. So if we just have x, we have one equation, we can simply solve, get x by itself, because we want our final answer to be x equals some value. Okay? Several ways to solve this. You can distribute everything, solve the quadratic. I'm going to look at this and say, okay, 198 is divisible by 3. Some of you don't remember that little trick, but if I simply do 1 plus 9 plus 8, that's going to equal 18. So because 18 is divisible by 3 evenly, it goes in 6 times, then 198 is also divisible by 3, one of those little divisibility rules. So I can divide both sides by 3. Okay, so then I'm going to get, let's see, that goes in there, 198 divided by 3 gives us 66, I do believe, I hope, equals, let's see, 6 and 6, yeah. So then the 3's cancel, so 66 equals x minus 1 times x plus 4. All right, so then let's get this down just a little bit. And we have our quadratic, so 66 equals, FOIL it out, x times x gives me x squared plus 4x minus 1x minus 4. And if you need to pause that and go back and rewatch it, please do. I'm going to keep going now. 66 equals x squared plus 3x minus 4. All right, and then if you remember, let's put it in standard form to begin with. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract 66. And I combine like terms, so I subtract it from the constants because it doesn't have an x squared or an x. So I subtract it from the constants. And you're left with 0 equals x squared plus 3x minus 70. And once again, this is what we took the test over recently, the exam, solving quadratics. So this one easily factors. I got 0. I look at the factors of 70, what multiplies to equal 70, adds to equal 3, multiplies to equal negative 70. So we have to have one positive, one negative. So it's obviously going to be 10 plus 10 and x minus 7. Because 10 times a negative 7 is negative 70. 10 plus a negative 7 is positive 3. All right, and then once again, when I have it in factored form, we go x plus 10 equals 0. So x has to equal negative 10. And obviously, you can't have the distance of a prism be negative. So we're going to disregard this answer because it's a negative. And then I have x minus 7 equals 0. So x is going to equal positive 7. And that's probably going to be my answer. Okay? So x equals 7. Now, if I wanted to solve this and know for a fact that this was the correct answer, that I was correct, I know that x equals 7. Let's go back and check. Let's go back and check. If the x does equal 7, then the length is going to be 7 minus 1, which is 6. If x is 7, the width is going to be 7 plus 4, which is 11. And of course, we know the height is 3. So if I take 3 times 6 times 11, it does equal 198. So my correct answer is 7. Well, x is x, so it probably wouldn't be a unit. So I would just leave 7. X equals 7. All right, please rewind. Watch it again if you need to.